Hello, YouTube model community. This is Don Pickett coming to you from Don's Garage. That's right, the fat man from Alabama is back. Here we are, another update on the Cuda project. And the last few videos on this project was, centered just around the hood. I've got the hood pretty much ready. What I want to point out today is, what I had discussed in previous videos about the cowl, how I was going to slick it. Well, it was thick enough and distorted enough. By the time I got it sanded down and all this looking like it should be, the cowl vent is gone. I'm not going to have to fill it, which works out pretty good for me. Also, this body, again, this is old tooling. Now, this is the body untouched versus the one I'm working on. And you can see here I've scribed in to finish the fender line. It's not on the body when it comes out of the die, out of the kit. That's just the way they done it back then. But I scribed that in to give it a little added detail. Of course, I've eliminated the wipers. I've rescribed and cleaned up the window lines. Ouch. As you can see, and it's not 100% perfect, but it'll work. The hood fits the car a lot better. I went ahead and put the front roll front valence in, and you can see there's a dab of black plastic here and a dab of white plastic here. As you can see, this is what the body comes out of the kit like. There's a gap here and a gap here that's not on the real car, so I had to fill them in. And one side, the gap's wider than the other. That's why there's a piece of 40 here and a piece of 20 here. Also, I'm starting to fit the grille and headlight assemblies in, because when they come right out of the kit, they don't fit worth a toot. And I'm still having to work it. It's still a little thick in here. It's still a little thick right in this area, because it's got a snug fit, which I don't need right now at this stage, because I've still got to primer this car. There's going to be paint, clear coat. There's going to be a lot of materials going to get put in here, and I'm having to kind of guesstimate how much material to take off around the headlight doors to get them to fit after this car's painted. As you can see, I've got this side sanded down. This is all done in 220. I've rescribed the door lines. Slipped right there. That'll clean up here in a little while. Another body line I've added is the separation line between the fender and the rocker panel. It's just a little added touch, a detail that normally does somewhat get overlooked. The drip rails on this car were awful, so I'm taking them off. I'm actually going to have to make new ones, and I'm not looking forward to that. But this car's been block sanded with 220, and it really had to be. There is going to be some filler put in just to help even out the sides of this car. The dies for this kit are virtually as old as I am, and I'm 51 years old. And they're showing a wear about like me. This body, when it comes out of the package, literally looks like a stack of marshmallows on a stick. It's just whoop, whoop, whoop. You get seasick. You stare at the sides of this thing long enough. So I'm ironing out the panels. I've already gotten the sail panels a lot smoother. They're more rounded into the deck lid area, because there's a quite noticeable, let's see if I can turn this where we can see it. There's a considerably noticeable part line here on the dies, and the plastic's disturbed both sides of it. You can see the indentation here for the pin inside the body for the interior bucket to locate on. There's dimples here, there's dimples here. There's a little valley in it right through here. So all that has to be addressed. and I've gotten most of it sanded out. Let's jiggle everything around. I've gotten it all ironed out pretty good. I've rescribed the trunk line. I've rescribed the back window trim. About the only thing showing up is a little bit of the valley still left in it right here, and a little spot there. Really hoping this comes out in primer. That's why I use the filler primer, is to help fill in, wash out these spots like this here. It's more prevalent on this side, on the right side versus the left side. I've rescribed the trim that goes around the taillight areas. This side, I've scribed it, but I haven't sanded it yet. The drip rail was real bad on this side. It's paper thin. It had shifted a little bit. The nice thing about, once I get this part of the drip rail off, when I block sand this surface, this will flatten this all out better, which should give the new drip rail a nicer surface to mount to, which should translate into a cleaner piece of drip rail. That I've got, I did a series of videos on the hood. Here's the hood from the video. It's mudded in pretty well. I'm probably going to wipe it and sand it again just to ensure I get any little pinholes that may be there. I've rounded this edge. My pointer, my fat fingers are getting in the way. But I've rounded this edge through here a little bit to give it a more flow across the top and down to the sides. So if I can turn it where we can see get a better idea. But there it is. That's that one. Of course, I couldn't leave well enough alone. I built a second hood. This one has a turbo lump on it. Let's see. As you can see, there's the profile to it, which I like. That's one of the reasons why I've done this hood. Trying to decide which one. This is probably the hood I'm going to use on this car for my personal stash. I just like it. I'm thinking like doing a Pro Charger type car out of it. But that's it. The scoop itself is a piece I resin cast out of a quick mold I made up, and of course the product coming out of the mold shows it was a quickie. Tons of pinholes. There's a lot of work to make the scoop work. I'll get better at that later. I've also added the rear roll pan, and you can see there was a little situation where I had to add to it right here. I spent time fitting the rear bumper because these bumpers don't fit well at all. I've sanded the chrome off. There wasn't no sense in stripping. I had to do so much sanding anyway. The bumpers are really too thick right in here, right through here. So they don't clear the body. They rub the body, which is fine and dandy until you start looking at the fact we're going to be painting and clear coating this car. And you can see, I think you can see it. Let's get it off the stand. With the bumper in place where it needs to go, you can see right here, little to no clearance. Well, I'll say you can. Anyway, this side you can see where I've clearanced it. I mean, you should see a little daylight between this. It's not exactly where it needs to be, but it is extremely close to where I need it to be before I paint this car. I'm also working on clearancing it through here to give it a proper looking gap. Then once I get that one fitted, I get to do the same thing for the front bumper. Considering this is going to be a Pro Street car, big tired car, I will be eliminating the gas cap. I'm not real happy about it, but By the time you get the wheel tubs and everything in this thing, this would be useless anyway. And I want a nice clean side when I start getting this thing ready to paint, because we're going to put some graphics on this car. It's not going to be a one color and chrome foil and done. I'm going to tape, I'm thinking probably 1, 2, 3, probably 4 colors, maybe 5. I've got a paint idea in mind, paint scheme idea. I've done on one of these already. I'm going to do one now for myself. So, well, that's about it for today on the update on the Cuda project. I'd like to thank everyone that has subscribed to my channel. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed, please hit the like button and subscribe. Also, remember, folks, it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Let's take care of each other and truly enjoy this wonderful hobby that we've all grown to love. Take care and God bless. Bye.